Try and lick my fucking arse now, you fucking skank.
She said it loads of times. She was keep going on Angie's box saying the same thing.
Thank you for that. I didn't say it, to be honest. Fucking two-faced cunt.
Can I just say one thing? Dan was blaming like the mental health card and whatever, but not being funny, a lot of people have mental health and they don't go around the app saying what he has said. So I don't understand how he can sit there and blame his mental health.
No one can blame the mental health for saying stuff like that. He's always been like that.
He needs to stop throwing the mental health card around because a lot of people have mental health and they don't go around. He said the worst of the worst and you can't go around blaming mental health. They need to stop throwing that word around. It's getting used far too much for things you've done. And yeah, it's just not right.
Oh, Blaster, I'm going to have to stop because I've got to go out for the day now.
Okay, thanks, babe. And I'm sorry you've been used as well.
Don't be silly. I'll give you a message later, all right?
See you later, Debs.
Okay.
Bye. See you later, everyone.
See you later, mate.
Bye.
Morning,
Bye.
Blaster. Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Can I just point something out on the back of what Jess has just said in regards to mental health?
Yeah.
How can we, as viewers, creators, and things like that on TikTok, take what he says and show any sympathy for it? Because it was only 2-3 weeks ago where he was on a live where he was out and he stated he plays this app and uses a fictional storyline of mental health to monetize. Corey Wilde played it. Corey Wilde had it and played that conversation that Dan had with somebody outside of a pub. So how can we show sympathy for anybody or show any kind of leniency for people's behaviour when they're sat there saying that in regards to mental health? They're playing it for monetization of the app. How can we sympathise?
You can't.
Well, Jeepers Creepers says yesterday she's got a clip of him saying that he hasn't got PPD.
Yeah, he hasn't. That was what he was joking about off the back of. You remember Lisa?
Yeah.
She had BPD Lisa in her name off the back of when she jumped into the box and all that stuff. And that was all did that. They all put BPD in their name as like a clap back as like, you know, to try and piss people off in it. That's what it was.
You can't
Tracy,
say the
in answer
worst
to
of the
your
worst
comment-
and then go and blame mental health. It's not right. You can't do that.
Tracy, in answer to your comment, I've shown him sympathy since that and sat with him. Wrong. I was sat in EQ Minx's box. EQ Minx and Dan were friends. Not sure if they still are. I cannot justify, right, dropping out of a friend's box just because I don't like someone's behaviour. Now, I haven't condoned anyone's behaviour because if you've heard what I've said, I've stated, instead of people digging at him, and this was in the early days before all this kicked off over the past 7 days, right? If people are that worried about his behaviour and how he's projecting his like emotions and the way he's kicking off with people, instead of bringing it to a social media platform, are these people who are sat in his social circle ringing him and saying, Dan, come on, man, what's wrong? What the hell is going on with you? That's what I've said. And if nobody's done that...
There was times where I'd get a message and I'd be on live and it'd be, oh, Dan's just put this comment in such and such as and they're panicking, and I'd literally drop from a live and I'd go, Dan, you all right? But he doesn't give a fuck about anybody else's mental
You know what I
health.
think should happen here? Do you know what I honestly
It's
think
all a
should
game.
happen? Yeah, do you know what I think should happen? And this is my opinion, just my opinion only. You know, there's screen recordings out there. I'm going to find them because I think I know the 2 pages that has them. You know the time when he was going after like you, and he said about Just Nana being an Ents, you know that saying victim,
Yeah.
and there's another one where he was saying like the expositions and all that stuff. Yeah, there was people in the chat, right, and you can see the chat of people laughing and stuff. I just say we expose them people that found that funny, and just all block them. Don't allow them to have rooms because they're the dangerous people as well. We can say what Dan says is disgusting and that, but I also think the people in the chat laughing and think it's fucking hilarious. I think we all block them. Don't allow them a space to sit because that's where the danger is.
I agree.
Yeah, exactly, Alex. I agree.
The thing with this app, Alex, and I had this conversation at 3 o'clock this morning, about people seeing this app as the new source of reality TV. And every time somebody comes live, it's the next segment in the series of Car Crash TV. And that's the problem with this app. People are like gifting people from to come back, finding the most disgusting things funny. And don't get me wrong, we've all done it. We've all like messed up on this app and said something we shouldn't have said or done something that we shouldn't have done. I'm the first to own it. I used to be one of the biggest a-holes on this app. And do you know what? I'll hold my hand up and openly admit that. But when's enough enough? When can people turn around and say, do you know what, enough's enough? Instead of supporting these creators who are doing this day in, day out, hour by hour, stop supporting them. Stop putting your hard-earned money in their pockets and make them go out and get a job. Make them go out and get a job.
He was saying some of the worst things, and you could still see that people were gifting him, and I thought that was absolutely disgusting.
I just think, obviously, everyone has I'm not saying this is humour, because it definitely fucking isn't, but what I'm saying is, everyone has different levels of what they find funny. We've seen it, we've seen people sitting lives when they're on Battle Talk and people are saying the R slur against the disabled community, and everyone's laughing, the MONG, and they're all laughing because over there it's acceptable, and, Drama Talk's so different. Me, personally, I'm not offended by anything. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not really offended by anything. I've seen worse, and I've heard worse. I'm going to be honest with you. However, it's not acceptable when you're attacking people with these things as well. It's not acceptable saying these things, but when you're also going after people's children and you take it to a whole new level. You know what I mean? And people are getting absolutely dragged for their children, for disabilities and stuff. It's odd. I just don't understand it. I don't know where someone's mindset goes.
It's absolutely disgusting.
We've all got our own levels of dark humour. And if you sit and think about it logically, people say, I have dark humour. Okay, what's your level of dark humour? How far will you take something of finding it funny before it starts offending you? Everyone has, like Alex has just said, different levels of humour. Just because one person doesn't find it funny and somebody else does, a lot of people on here, I've noticed it because I've done it,